Please note, we would like to make it very clear, we are totally against the form of discipline described in the articles and accounts being used on minors and non-consenting adults. Although some of these accounts are fictional, and others may be an exaggerated reality, none of them are too far from the truth of what really happened back in those days.
Time travel. If you could go back in time and experience CP at your old school, would you take the magic genie up on the offer? Definitely. If I knew then what I know now, my fear of being caned and slippered would have been outweighed by memories later in life of having my backside beaten. Me too. I'd choose the slipper from my head of year, who I quite liked. I'd love to know what the procedure was and how much it hurt. Either it would be fun, or it would be so horrible it might cure me of my fascination with the subject. Not sure I could cope with the headmaster's cane. Do you have a preferred teacher you wish you could take it from? At the time I had a genuine fear of corporal punishment despite having to endure it on a few occasions. I remember one case where a boy got 6 of the slipper from a PE teacher who walloped him with full force, having made him change into shorts. If I could have withstood that, it would now give me happy memories, although at the time I would have been pretty scared. I need more info before deciding on time travel. Will I get my teen body and brain back? Will it be a permanent return to the past or a transient one? Will I have a second chance at making decisions? Will I have to study French again? Yes. I don't know how much school CP hurt compared with being prepared for and consenting to fun CP as an adult. I would say a definite no. The experience was bad enough at the time, glad to keep them as a long-lost memory. How do you keep something lost? You get to be a pupil at your old school for 24 hours, but knowing everything you know now. Thank you for the very precise definition of the parameters. I shall now take advantage of your very kind Magic Genie virtual reality simulation holodeck like they had on Star Trek time travel offer. Perhaps you would be so kind as to advise which you think I would find most compatible. I am quite a good passenger, but I don't like to have my back to the direction of travel and I prefer to be able to see the driver. I shall utilize the facility to return to the age of almost 12 and my junior school, or rather the church hall in which my final year class was outstationed due to overcrowding in the school buildings, on a day in the summer of 1954, shortly before the summer holidays when we'd be leaving the school and dispersing to secondary schools. On a sunny afternoon I shall join my male classmates in what was effectively a large cupboard under one of the admittedly rather grand staircases to change into our white PT vests and navy blue shorts. Meantime our female classmates will be changing into their bottle green PT vests and gym knickers in the palatial and very well-equipped changing rooms associated with the hall's tennis and badminton facilities. Sexual equality hadn't arrived in the 1950s. The class will then assemble outside on a surfaced area at the back of the hall for a PT, or rather static drill as it really was in those days, session under the supervision of a male teacher, more or less unknown to us, not long at the school and supervising our class for a couple of days in the absence of the female class teacher. As we run on the spot, swing our arms, etc. under the direction of the teacher, he will ignore a number of incidents such as talking, girls as well as boys, which in those days could have led to punishment. But when a female classmate, like me 2 years in the top class due to 11+ exam requirements, turns and speaks to me during a pause, he will call her out to the front and requisition a slipper from one of the bigger boys. I can see no potential problems with the slight amendment to history which follows, so this time I shall nobly raise my hand and say, Sir, that isn't fair. If it does, it will be pointless anyway because I'll soon be back in the future. But I'll be back there with some vital questions answered. Was the teacher, in the parlance of this forum, a kinky teacher, intent not on dispensing justice but only on slippering the prettiest girl in the class? Since I will be participating equipped with everything I've subsequently learnt in my adult life, I'll be much better able to observe and assess this. Will he let us both off, slipper us both, or still just slipper? Clearly of relevance to the above question. If I am slippered, will he impose the same unnecessary indignities on me shorts, or in her case gym knickers, pulled up tight to expose as much of the target area as possible, exact bent over posture with fingers on toes and knees straight, etc.? If so, I'm not looking forward to the first, or indeed to the having to stand hands on head in front of the class for the rest of the session afterwards. However, I'll definitely manage the touching toes bit better than she did. If I am slippered, will I be able to withstand for alternating cheek hard wax without shedding a tear? But in the one and only slippering of my entire school career the previous year, I couldn't recall feeling a thing, preoccupied as I was with the shame of being punished at all.